Haha! Yes, hello! Welcome to another sorry. I thought I was doing an audio log. Welcome to another episode of Media File. I hope you're all excited. I certainly am to bring to you some news, some, important, developments that have occurred in my life within the past week, because it is that exciting. But frankly, first I must divulge something. I received a call from back home in the other realm that apparently my shipment of octopus tentacles has finally arrived. What they are for, it is none of your business. But that is something that's coming to my house. I have plans to do some sort of an experiment, perhaps a project of sorts, and in my home. Nothing illegal. It concerns things, with potions or poultices or other things of that nature, even something with clothing. And I feel like, a lot of people like this Cthulhu myth, this Cthulhu thing. And I was like, you know what? That's actually not a bad idea. Could you imagine a cape or perhaps a garb with tentacles coming down? That might get on a bit of interest. But I digress. So, first things first, I hope you all are doing well. I certainly am doing quite fine in my world. Work was, work. One has to do what they have to do to pay the bills. And my knees were bruised. I'm joking. It's a completely legitimate job. I go out when it's dark and I come back out when it's dark. But there were drugs involved. No, but seriously, I am so happy because I can actually get out of my home. I'm not really out of my home. I'm in my dungeon. Still in my dungeon because my parents, who are living with me at the moment, they still prefer that I remain a little bit quiet, a bit more, myself. And forgive me, I think I have to sort of back out away from the camera. I really love being involved with all of you. I love being, intimate, one-on-one. But unfortunately, my setup currently right now has trouble picking up my, what do you call it? I guess my face, because I'm that powerful, that mystical. My man is interrupting with the feed, with the capture. And so, honestly, it's probably because there's a lot of black, there's a little bit drab in here. I decided to turn on some torches over there to perhaps add a bit of ambient lighting. I have my little setup here. Hey! I was like, I love candles. I love lanterns, I love torches, I love all of it, But I'm still, sort of trying to get these things in order. I have them there, in case I have to lean back to, discuss my issues, because I will discuss a few issues with you today. And I know I'm not wearing that special mask that I really love. I was going to, but then I noticed that perhaps it was throwing off the caption some way. There was a lot of shifting blackness here. So I was like, you know what? I will humor the camera. I will humor the light. And hopefully the audio sounds okay. Forgive the echo again. I am in my dungeon. And in fact, it is a dungeon. I actually have a tool over here. Hold on. See if I can grab it. It's quite heavy. It was, it's... Fun fact, it's been... Sorry. It's actually been in my family for quite a few generations. We decided to use it because it's one of the mundane weapons that actually work for... Well, So, here it is. Oh my, quite heavy. My delicate fingers. I'm sorry. It is a mallet. It is a mallet. Yes. Oh, I'm going to get my gloves dirty. Oh, no. I dropped another ring. Sorry, excuse me. I have to get that ring. It's honestly quite priceless. It is under the table. Do I embarrass myself trying to get it? I don't know, but I really like that ring. It sort of pulls the whole look together. Don't look at me. Hold on. Look away. I can turn the table with magic. No, I have to get that ring. I'm sorry. My delicates. This is very awkward. This is a live session, by the way. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Oh, hold on. Please forgive me. I will have to sort of move the chair over. I don't need that. The chair. Yes. So let me go underneath the mantle of the table. Feel free to look at the scenery here while I dive down. Hold on. You know what was that mallet? No, the mallet's too heavy. I need something else. Oh my God, I'm wasting precious video. Okay, hold on. I'm going to just go under here. Oh my God, this is so indecent. So indecent. I hope no one can see me. This is a tragedy. An absolute tragedy. I'm sorry. Hold on. Where is it? The mask for the life of me. Cannot see. Ah! I have you, you bastard. Better be the last time. What if this was the same ring that fell off last time, I wonder? Sorry. Let me clothe myself. Horrible dust in these gloves. No. Thank you for that. Oh. Is that better? Is that all right? Yes? Yes? You're jealous? I know you are. No, okay. Sorry. Back to the filming. Back to the filming. Oh. Sorry. I'm so flustered. I cannot believe that happened again. What are the odds? It's like it was planned or something, but it was not planned. Oh my God. I'm sorry. So I'm sort of turned around. Okay, so what were they talking about? Anyways, I have these plans, these sort of, experiments I was going to undergo. And frankly, it is a work in progress. I have a few other components that have to be shipped into my house. Yes, I'm using the transportation glyph. That is used primarily for shipping, for things that are in the magical realm. In the magical realm, we have a lot of things that are quite perhaps updated. What do I have dust on my gloves? And, it's something, I mentioned this before in my audio logs that I just remembered I have not really mentioned to you all because it's a new channel, it's a new video, it's actual video of Mediafire. But no, this is the honest truth. I actually have, excuse me, let me get a bit closer, sorry. I actually have a trove of audio logs that I used to record myself with. Just to pass the time, just to, to anyone who finds them, can actually, know what it is I'm talking about and everything else and, learn a few things about me and perhaps about my world. So, these audio logs, they discuss a lot of things that I, for some reason, forgot to mention to all of you. So, okay, so a quick rundown, at least from where I'm going with this, in response to the, to the petraglyphs that we use for transportation. We have different types of glyphs that we use, and each glyph has, I believe, a circle added around it. And the circle identifies the level of the glyph. However, each glyph demands a lot more magical concentration, more mana, if you please. And so you have to do a specific symbol. I won't draw it here because they are mundane watching, and I don't want you to get involved in this and get things that were meant for you. And quite honestly, it wouldn't really work in this world anyway because of the laws that govern it. I mentioned it in my second video. Feel free to look. Magic is real? Question mark. That's my second video where I talk a little bit about this, about, things that aren't really allowed here or whatever. I can go into deeper detail about the laws that govern this universe, this particular realm. But for the sake of this video, I'm trying to keep these things a little bit shorter. So this is where I'm going with this. So we make these glyphs. They have circles around them. These are specific glyphs that are tailored to transportation. It is sort of illegal to transport something that is too big or perhaps too dangerous. The glyphs are attuned to certain magical, I believe, I should say objects, entities sometimes. Every now and then you have animals that are also transported. Now, most animals or things of that nature can be transported with a level 4 glyph. However, when you order something that is very, I guess, strong magical energy, or perhaps is too big in itself, you have to use a level 5 glyph. Level 5 is the top glyph. The thing is, the things we can transport in a level 5 glyph are quite large. You can't truly transport a house or perhaps a building of some sort. But however, you are able to transport certain types of creatures. I think, things like dragons, or for example, here in your world, you have things like elephants, things of that size. However, the glyph has to be placed in a place that can accommodate the space, whatever you're transporting. Which is why you can't put a level 5 glyph in your living room. You can't put it in your bathroom either. Jason. So, but that's just a quick rundown. It's just an explanation. I can go more into glyphs later. I have another thing that's trying to come off. Oh my God. Sorry. But this video, I meant to make it a bit more humorous. Well, actually informative. There's a lot of things that have happened recently, things that have come up in the news of all places. And quite frankly, I'm not sure if I really want to discuss certain things with you, because like I said, this is a channel meant for us to just laugh, to have a lark, as it were. And quite frankly, I'm quite tired of what I'm seeing on the news here. These mundane are so affixed with politics. When you have nothing to talk about, they go into depression, they don't know what to do. There's so many bad things going on, but I assure you that those of us who practice the manner, who are of the world, as it were, of my world, we have different matters, different things. And we always have things to like and things to care about. And there's always ways of acquiring what we need. Just the proper manipulation of manner. Because manner is life. Manner is everything. And I enjoy it. Quite. So anyways, I'm going to go into what I'm going to talk about. So, first things first, I decided to go to the market, again, to market. And I decided to go, purchase some clothing because I was in desperate need. And I was like, you know what, I don't really have a large collection of cloth masks. So this is the first part of the video where I believe will be quite important for you to figure out. These are probably something that many of you probably don't know about these masks, as it were, at least what they sell in the stores. So I actually brought them here with me. So here, for example, is a cloth mask. Yes. So masks you probably find at certain places, stores, things like Walmart or Target or anything else. So I bought the mask and I read it because I read it. And it's important to read this sort of things. Otherwise you commit some grave errors. So I even asked one of the people working there and they were like, well, we have some more masks over there. They didn't really answer my question. I don't believe she knew how, poor dear. She was working till, I don't know, her bones ached. Get used to it on a daily basis. But no, so here we have, is there a tag of where it came from? Well, honestly, I cannot, just for example, I mentioned some few names. I don't care, I'm not being promoted by anyone, unless if anyone wants to, that's completely fine. But they have to divulge with me at a later date. So, for example, I guess for the sake of, whatever, I guess I won't show the name. But you have these cloth masks here, right? Very nice, I got them in black, obviously. Black masks are better. But honestly, maybe putting some bedazzled, you know what, I actually saw some people with like bedazzled masks. I really liked it. It was very gaudy, but I loved it. And then that reminds me, have any of you guys New Year's? Do you remember did you see that horrible streaming of the Times Square New York ball drop? It was a ghost town. If it was in my world, it would be filled with mages because we are immune to this particular virus. We're not affected. But in this world, it's a different story. So there was this, I believe it was a, what's the correct terminology? I'm still not of this world. I think it was a trans man, perhaps. It is trans woman. It is a male to female. I still don't know. I believe she identifies as a woman. So a woman I will call her. I'm assuming, I'm not sure. You never really know nowadays. Some people just dress that certain way because people forgot that transvestites exist. And these are people that, they know they're of a particular gender, but they enjoy dressing up as the other one. It's most commonly men dressing up as women and they look fabulous. But apparently people forget that transvestites exist. And so they just label everyone trans, but it's not all the same. So I won't go into the whole trans thing. It's just for the sake of this mask. She was wearing a mask. It was quite well. I wasn't sure how well it was, blocking everything. But it was this huge mask. It was draping down the front. And it was bedazzled with rhinestones. I was like, oh my God! I was loving it. You look so good, love. So good. So anyways, back to these masks. So these particular cloth masks, you probably find them in many particular places. You have to read them, of course. They say, machine washable, shell binding, lining, 100% cotton. Thread and everything else. So the thing you probably may not notice is that a lot of these masks, they have disclaimers. Disclaimer. Yes, so if you look, let me see if I can do this properly. This is actually an educational video, by the way. Yeah, so you don't have to, not watch me around your parents. Okay, so you see this here. I'm not sure if you can see that quite well. It probably shows up backwards. God damn it. But it says non-medical grade masks. So what that means is that these are masks that a surgeon or perhaps a nurse wouldn't use. Because these masks don't contain the filtration system required to filter out certain particles like dust or things like bacteria or anything else of that nature. Which is a bit of a problem, considering we're in a pandemic and you need protection against this particular virus. But they are selling these masks in stores, and people are just buying them. I've seen so many people with cloth masks, and most people, I am assured, have bought the proper masks with the filtration systems and everything else like that, and that's completely fine. However, when you go to a store that is just selling these cloth masks out there, Lord knows if anyone else has put them on, you should probably, wash them first. But they say that this particular virus can die out perhaps after a couple of hours. It becomes, I guess, null and void. I'm not sure. But anyway, you have to make sure you read these labels. You have to make sure you read them. Otherwise, you're buying cloth masks that aren't really protecting you at all. It's more like an aesthetic piece. And perhaps they may offer some protection, but you need N95 is the specific classification required to filter out this particular virus. And so you are buying masks without the N95, without the proper filtration. That is why reading is important. So many people don't read nowadays. Even reading a damn bathroom. I remember one time I was attending the academy, and a woman was asking where the bathrooms were when there was a sign that told you the bathrooms were right there. You're not reading. You're not looking at it. Are you stupid? I'm sorry. I'm just ranting. But honest mistake, common mistake, and honestly, it's happened to me a few times. But honestly, that was a lie. It never happens to me because I read. So yes, but no, seriously. These masks, I was looking at them earlier, and I believe these particular masks are labeled as being. Bear with me for a moment. I swear I was doing my proper research and homework into these masks. I believe I read it somewhere else actually. Let me see here. Well, in any case, I believe they were known as N85. I don't know. But the requirement is 95. For those of you who are concerned or perhaps have loved ones, mundanes, all of you, because this affects you. I'm looking out for you. My rejects, my lords and ladies, I'm looking out for all of you. And I want you to be healthy and safe, even around people. And if you have to wear the mask, and I know it's a bit of a hassle, make sure the N95, and please make sure you read those labels. They let you know whether or not these masks can be worn effectively and appropriately. I can't really wear this mask at work. And even though at work they say we have to wear masks, they're not going to each person ensuring that they're N95 masks. And I work in a place where lots of people are getting infected on a daily basis. But I mean, because like I said in my last video, I went to get tested and I came out negative, and it was a marvelous thing, and I felt overjoyed, so grand that I could just, be myself. But I still have to wear this mask in this world because I don't want to piss people off, and because these things are required by, well, not by law, but it's recommended. So I'm gonna put these back here. So that's the mask thing settled. Another thing I wanted to ask, perhaps a question. Does this make me an asshole? So, I went to a restaurant. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. This cape, my goodness. Let me get, there we go. Nice and cozy. It's a little drafty in this dungeon, but so, I went to this one place. It was a Jamaican shop that I really love to go to. It's very nice. I have recommended it highly. I will probably mention it in this video. I don't know who will see this. But the Jamaican place in question is called, well, it's located in Cleveland, Ohio, close to 136 off of Pearl Road. It is known as IRIE Jamaican Kitchen. The pronunciation I'm still not sure of. I'm assuming it's supposed to pronounce Erie, like the lake perhaps that governs this place. But yes, that's where I'm staying for the time being. I wanted to keep some sort of anonymity, but honestly, you have to know whatever. So this is just where I'm at, as an example, because honestly, my home can change from time to time because I can do that. So I go to this place, and they, hello. So they were like, hello, it was just a regular man. He wasn't particularly Jamaican. He was like, what would you like today? And I was so tempted. I was like, should I say? No, I'm not joking. The accent almost came out. I was like, in my head, I was like, should I say this? But it was like, I was like, can I get some jack chicken? Does that make me an asshole? Because I want to say it in that language. Some jack chicken. Can I get some of that, a side of some of that rice with a bit of that there, I don't know. I'm sorry. It's... But I was thinking about it, I was like, does that make me an asshole? I have no idea. And then I get my meal. It came out. It was very well. Although I think I perhaps had a bit too much jerk sauce put on the chicken. It was a bit much, but it was a bit too much for me. So, yeah, so that was that matter settled. Oh, and unfortunately, so I went to see Wonder Woman. I believe I told you that already. And I've been watching anime. So I believe the anime I perhaps will mention that I believe is a bit, it's a bit overrated. I would probably say, like Black Butler, things and look, this is something I mentioned in my audio logs. Like I said, in my audio logs, I say all of these things, and I have yet to post them. But okay, so for those of you who actually watch anime, these are cartoons that are, they're called super cartoons in Japan, and they have a particular style, and they actually give effort into their cartoons. They're actually legitimate actors that do these things and everything else. So this anime came out years ago. I know lots of people perhaps have seen this anime already, and so long story short, I probably shouldn't even say that. I suppose the theme of the story, it takes place in Britain. Not where I'm from, thank God. It takes place in Britain. And the story is about a young boy who survives the burning of his mansion. His father and mother die in the mansion as well. And so something happens where he's, I guess, in this ritualistic circle. And so apparently he makes some sort of deal with a demon to have revenge on those who killed his parents. I'm like, okay. So, the demon is supposed to serve him and everything else. So the boy ends up becoming the Jarl of his father's mansion. It's a huge mansion. I don't know where it is exactly. And he has these 3 buffoon, servants and everything else. And apparently, and people love this anime. I still don't know what I'm sorry. See my face a bit better. I still don't know what the appeal is about this anime. So this anime is about this young boy who's 12, by the way, who has this demon servant who does everything he else. He has a catchphrase. What was it? Yes. I'm simply one hell of a butler. He said it in his whatever. It sounds very nice. And he's this demon, and he's very proficient in doing butler services and the whole thing. I'm not even sure if I'm supposed to take the anime seriously or not. But the anime, it has this very dark tone because a lot of people, I guess, like that sort of thing. I don't mind it, but I feel like it was a bit, okay, so it was during a time where people, were in it and things like Soul Eats or whatever. All the emails were out in droves because they simply wanted to find something that spoke to them, I suppose. But I started to watch the anime because I'm like, you know what, I need some perspective. I need to look at these things and know what I'm dealing with. So I turn on this anime, I'm watching episode after episode after episode, and the boy is, I believe, known as the Queen's. They're sort of like a police unit. He has his own, I guess, justice, or he sort of investigates crimes that happen in the capital. He was the Queen's lapdog, whatever it was. I'm not certain. But, so he does all of these missions. The butler, of course, does all of these things because part of the contract, it was after the butler helps the boy discover who murdered his parents, the butler can then devour the boy's soul. The boy is very nonchalant about it. And this is, so he goes through solving all these murders. He starts finding all of these weird things, sort of these things that are getting involved. And then afterwards, what appears to happen is that, there's, at some point in the episode, I forget which one it was, they come across this person, red hair, sharp teeth, a chainsaw. I was like, okay, this is getting interesting. It is a Grim Reaper that I suppose has a hard-on for this demon. It knows it is a demon. So, but yes, it's this sort of weird, strange love affair. I don't know what to think of it. And then there's this love interest for the main protagonist. His name is CL, by those of you who don't know. I forget what the girl's name is. I believe her name is Elizabeth. She's this very giddy young girl, perhaps his same age, blonde hair, absolutely spoiled. I was disgusted by her behavior. And she would go forth and she would say, hello, Ciel! Ciel! Oh my God, Ciel, I missed you. Can we go to the picnic? Let's have a picnic. And let me tell you, the accents in this anime are as bad as mine. I'm not even British. This is not a British accent. This is just the way I talk. This is the way I talk. Okay, I'm sorry. Not everyone who sounds like this lives in Britain. Okay, not everyone who talks like this lives in London or perhaps in England at all. There are other places that have this accent. Okay? So, my God. So, the voice acting in this particular anime is quite strange. There isn't too much of an effort based on the person who played Sebastian, who is the butler, hence the demon. Ciel is very reserved, very flat character. There isn't too much dynamic. He doesn't really grow as a person. Neither does Sebastian. He simply is what he is. So the Grim Reaper is the same crazy person. The servants, oh my God, are some of the worst actors I've ever heard. The craziest one, he's like this boy. He has a very forced accent. I don't know who it was. I don't know who they picked for this. Like, I suppose they couldn't afford perhaps an English person to do voice acting, which is something that I myself am quite, I believe I'm quite well at voice acting. It's something I do want to do as part of my career. I could probably do some impressions later on, perhaps in other videos. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to perhaps stay on point. So I'm just going on a rant right now. That anime is so overblown. People talk about this anime like it's the best thing ever. I'm like, it is not that good. It is not that good. It is about a boy who sells his soul to a demon so he can find who killed his parents. And in return, he gives the demon his soul. But throughout the whole anime, he's not really growing as a person because he can't. Because he knows he's going to just die and succumb to whatever. And he has these buffoon servants. One of them, I suppose, is Australian. The other one grew up there, who, spoiler alert, is this sort of head sniper, is given these goofy glasses, and she becomes this dim-witted idiot. The other one is, of course, a good marksman, but he's no good as a servant. They're all just people who had troubling pasts, who are pretty much a Monty crew, who are hired by Sebastian to, I suppose, guard the master. And Sebastian somehow can't do it. They mess up half the time. They're not even properly good servants. They're just there to fill up space and to be, I guess, characters to fill in these spots for the anime, because it'd be too much of a drag with having just Sebastian there. So this whole investigative service thing. And then at the end of the anime, I honestly doubt, Sebastian lays a woman, by the way. So that was something. So by the end of this anime, it's this huge conspiracy that whoever the queen is supposed to be, she not really is. She's actually a person that is dying, clinging on to life. She's, I suppose, some sort of undead thing weird. She has her own proper servant. It's them to be a fallen angel, whatever. Him and Sebastian fight it out. Sebastian tells Ciel to close his eyes because he goes into this transformation where he rips his angel to pieces. We don't know what it looked like, just, And so it pretty much ends, and Ciel apparently is taken somewhere to safety. And that is when he figures out the queen was involved in the killing of his parents, as was the fallen angel, for reasons I can't even remember. And then Sebastian just devours his soul. That at least that's what we are made to think. Then the next episode, it goes into this strange play, as if they were all there before, just performing. Not what happened in the anime. I was like, where the hell was this going? And then there was a second season of this bullshit. There's a second season. I was like, oh, what? And apparently the second season is... Apparently, Ciel is not dead. His soul is apparently locked in some sort of, I don't know, a sort of ring that was taken by some other spoiled brat who did the same thing Ciel did. And I was like, okay, so we're just rehashing this. And so now apparently there were two people who sold their souls to these demons to have certain things. But apparently Sebastian gets a trump on the other one because Sebastian is that much better. It is a garbage anime. If you like the anime, you are garbage. I'm sorry. I'm not going to apologize for it. This is a rant. I saw the anime. I watched this person that absolutely loves it, a YouTuber. I won't mention the name now because I love him very deeply. He does things to me. I can't explain it. But his voice, very good voice actor. He's on a podcast as well. Talk about this anime. And I was like, look, the only reason why people like this anime, it's an anime that was made for emotional women. Boys too, I guess. But I was like, there's no redeeming qualities about this anime whatsoever. There is no redemption for the child. Sebastian is still a person who is only doing it so that he can get the boy. So he is using Ciel. So Ciel's being used, but he doesn't mind it. You have this strange love interest between this, I suppose it's gaudy Grim Reaper and Sebastian. Nothing else is going on. It's utter garbage. There's no redeemable qualities about this anime. And people like it. I don't know. I guess people don't like it right now. And I suppose if you see this, look, I'm not talking all this stuff just to get at you, but you need to realize this is garbage. I'm sorry. And this video honestly just turned into another rant. But honestly, this was something that I really wanted to bring up because it concerned me quite deeply. So, enough of that anime. There were other things I was going to talk about as well. So I'm going to discuss about the last quiz thing. So you remember the last video, how I mentioned how I went back to the academy. They were like, we're going to have this reunion, going to be there. Would you like this dragon egg? So I went there over the weekend. It was just as bad as I thought it was. They were teachers that didn't know what they were doing. They were still old. They were still stupid. There were people that were so bored. They were having they were having intercourse behind the school because that's just what happens at schools. I got together with with Delilah. I was trying to avoid her the whole time, and Quincy was there. And Quincy, he was avoiding me. I think he saw the video. I was like, oh my god. But I'm sorry, Quincy, you are 800 years old. Just die. Just die already, okay? Nobody gives a damn about your opinions about mandrakes or anything else. He's still on about the same garbage as always. He's convinced that mandrakes are an aphrodisiac. I mentioned this in my recording, but I will do so for the sake of the video. So, Quincy was a very eccentric professor. He would say all of these things, all these experiments and everything else. So, he was dead set on having mandrakes as a way for aphrodisiac, because apparently the components of mandrakes traditionally were used as of things to curse, but it can be used for medicinal purposes. They can also be used to keep certain people awake. So, he sort of retrofitted the components of a mandrake in order to, I guess, act as a sort of Viagra. And I was like, no! No, leave those screaming shrubs alone. Don't touch them at all, ever. Those poor things. I don't even know what you're doing to those mandrakes, but to get you off, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. But it was a travesty in the making, and it usually always is. So I believe this is the end of this video. I just really wanted to bring up the mask thing. There was so many other things I wanted to talk about, but once I started talking about Black Butler and the shit of an anime that is, I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop. So this was a sort of, a bit more restrained, a bit more refined. I certainly hope you all enjoyed it. I know it's not as animated as my last video. Quite frankly, I was battling with my mana this week and just trying to make sure I fuel myself. And I encourage all of you to keep fueling your mana, to keep fueling that energy that gives you energy. Because you need that. We all do. So, without further more delay, thank you so much for watching this video. I apologize if it's not really something that you were expecting, but it's something that's quite educational. I believe the next video, I'm trying to think about what I'll talk about. I guess just give me a reference in the comment section below. I will certainly have it already ready for you by the time I come in next week. I really hope I continue doing these videos. I don't know if there'll be a weekly thing, but just whenever I, feel like uploading these videos, pretty much where they'll be up. But I would like to do them perhaps a week in advance each week. I hope you like this setup. I know it's not much, but I feel like we needed some lighting just so that, you can see me a bit better, because I was having some issue with the camera. I was insane. But thank you for listening, for tuning in. The fact that you watch these videos all the time that they're up gives me so much joy, gives me so much pleasure, and it fuels my mana to such a great extent. I cannot really explain it. I am rich, bitch!